you are well, both physically and mentally. And I hope you will stay here till the end of the session. So today's topic is about PHP array, and I will show something about the form handling. That means how to handle the data by submitting the form in PHP. And finally, I will also introduce some built-in functions which is used in PHP, which actually have some purpose to make the data validation. Well, before starting my session, just I want to ensure that you are watching my screen properly and listening my voice without any problem here. You have to do some settings here because the settings is important to see my screen properly. So please just do the settings properly by this settings icon. Just click on the settings icon you can see here and choose the quality option and chose 360, 480 or 720, one of them, but not 144 or 240 because those are for low resolution. So please just make sure that your option is selected above 360 p. That means it can be 360 or 480 or 720. So I hope you'll do the settings properly. And if you have any problem to see my screen or any other issues, you can just comment here. If you are logged in with your Gmail account, you can easily comment here in the comment section. So I hope you will do the comment here. Okay, so I'm going to start about what is actually array. I hope you already heard about the variable in PHP. That means storing the data for temporary, which is actually lost just for the duration of the program. So after the execution of the program, actually those value will not be saved anymore. And arrays same in this concept, but array is actually a collection of data, not a single data. It will a collection or a set of data. For example, you can see there is a simple array like the fruits. I just take an array of fruits where three values here: apple, orange, and mango. So these three value here in the fruits array, and how I will display it using two function, the PHP function like the wordumps and printer. There are some difference between those. I'll show you today what is the difference for the functions. Okay, and so I'm starting here. So just taking an array, which name is fruits here, and this array here, and there is some value like apple, orange, and mango. Well, this is an array, and I will display the array its bottom. You can see the fruits here. Let's see the output here. And before starting, just you have to ensure that you are starting your some server of this XAMPP or WAMP, whatever you used. Just start the Apache and MySQL service here. Okay, you can see this array. I have used the bar dump here, so you can see the array. Three means actually there were three elements of the array, and you can see there is a zero. There is the location of this data, that is in the first location. In the array, actually, the location is started from the zero, not one. So in the first, you can see there is a string, that means the apple, and there are five characters of the string. So there is so string five here. For the one position, there is another string six. That means there are six characters in this orange. And finally, there is a mango, and which is also have the same characters defined. And what will happen if I use the printer instead of the bottom? So let's check it here. Just giving a red so it shows separately here. Okay, you can see the first one for the bird dump, and second one is the printer. In this printer, you can just array, and there is a zero location apple, one orange, two mango. So it's just simply the index or position and the value. That's it. Not other elements like the number of elements, how the value like a string or number. So not are those actually printed here. There is just straightforward the value and the position. So this is the difference between the bar dump and printer. Now I will introduce another array which is indexed array. Already this is actually indexed array. You can see 0, 1, 2. This actually automatically assigned by the PHP because I just declared here like that apple, orange, mango, but I didn't mention any index like the 0, 1, 2, but it is actually automatically assigned 0, 1, 2 here. But I don't want to do this. I just want to assign manually, not automatically. So I can do it like here. For example, for the 0, I just want to make apple, or not 1, I just want like 4. For the 4 position, I just want to keep the orange here, and for the 8th position, I can keep the mango. So let's check actually how it will appear now. You can see the index now has been changed here. So the 0 it's apple for the 4, not 1 because it is now automatically set. It is just manually set by us, and the 8 also. So if you want to index the array by ourselves, we can also do this using this index of the value here. Okay, let me check if you have any comment here. Just I want to ensure that if you are watching my screen properly. Okay, no comment. Hopefully everything is going fine here. Okay, and now I'll introduce another array which is actually associative array. That means you can see these are actually numeric value 0 to 1 everything, but I don't want to use those type of numeric value. I just want to some meaningful index like key, so I can introduce like that. So there is another array like info array, and for this for example first name John, last name Joe, and finally there is a phone number, so it can be like blah, blah. So you can see now the index are not a numeric value, it is just a meaningful value that set by us. So actually can recognize those value more perfectly here. The first name, the last name, the phone number. So if I enter this, sorry, so if I print this array, so you can see there is first name now, or not the index 0 like that. Now it is changed to the some meaningful key here. First name, last name, phone number. So this call actually indexed array. Sorry, not index is associative array here. And there's another type of array here, multi-dimensional array. That means if info is data of a single person, but I want to many person to keep the data. For example, I want to keep the data of students of a class, so I can keep this in this way also, which is like a multi-dimensional array. So I can make it multi-dimensional array here. That means array within the array. So for the 0, over here like that. I'm not showing, just putting some comma here. For the last one, I don't need to use any comma. 0, 1, 2. So I can change the value here like it's uh, something like that. So now it's the multi-dimensional array. That means it has actually a set of data. This is the for person one. This is the person two. This is the another person data. And if I bring this data here, so I can see here like that. You can see in the zero location there is an array, first name, last name, and for the one location there is another array. So actually it is the multi-dimensional array or two-dimensional array. We can say here. So you can keep the data also like this format here. So all over this array, there is mostly this type of array used in the real project in this web world. Now I'll show something about the iteration. Actually, is the data or how we have to trace the data from the array, because you can see and those are not actually human readable format, because the visitor is not actually habituated to see such data. It's just for the development purpose. Only the programmer actually can see, and programmer will use those type of output to make sure everything is fine here, just for debugging purpose. But for the real project or real data to show, so we have to use something like iteration here. For example, this is the for each here. So for each, for example, this is the basic format. For each, the array as the value and echo add. That means actually this value here. So just I want to show the data of the one dimension, not multi-dimension now. For now, just so for each data for info. That means I just want to show the data from this array. That means John Doe and the number. So info as like b for value. What I just want to show here is equal b. Well, so this is the value. That means for each time actually the for each will run for three times here, because there are three elements: first name, last name, and phone number. So for each element, this loop actually run three times, and for each time it will get the data. That means the value. So for the first time it will get the John, the second time Doe, and this last one. And I'm also giving some space to make it more clear in the output here. Okay. You can see John Doe and the phone number. So just using the iteration, just we need the value here. And if we want to use the key also, that means we want to use the like first name, last name also, so we can get it here. So this is another format actually, key value. So key value, that means this is the value of the key, this one, and this is the value of the this key here. So what I'll do here now, key, and the value, and also make some break here, so that the data is well formatted now. We can see the first name John, the last name Doe, and the phone number is there, so on. So you can see just use this one from here, like that. Key means this, actually the value of this one, the first name, last name, phone. Those are the key, and the value, that means the John Doe and the number here. So I'm just uh, showing those value, For the each tag, I'm just showing the key first name, that means the first name, and the colon, and concatenate the string here, and the value, that means the b, and a new line here. So each time it is taking the data and printing here. So it's just simply first name, last name, and phone number. So this about the iteration of the array. So actually, how can we get the data from an array and show properly in the output? Well, I hope you have understand about this array. Now I'll go for the second part here, which is about our topic is about this one, some form handling. That means how do we get data from the form in the PHP here. So for that, I just do some form here. So I have a form here like that one. So I'm just using this type of form. Okay, I'm just quitting here. With this in the HTML. So I have closed the PHP tag here. Now I'm writing a form action. So action will be nothing here because I am just submitting the data in the same file, and method post because I want to get the data using the post method. Now, so what is the difference between other methods? There is two methods, the get and post basically. If I use the get method, in this case, the data will be submitted using the URL, and if I use the post method, actually the data will be submitted without URL, just directly. So the form here like that, and also take some label, take name, and input type just text, and the name of the input like f name, first name, and it's going to be like the second is the last name, and the finally there is a button to submit the value, submit, send. Okay, so this is the data here. So let's check if the form is appeared properly here. Okay, so you can see the first, last, and the send data. So I'll just remove this part now. You don't need this one. Well, so when the form is submitted here, so I get the data here like this one. So post method is the post, and the name of the field or this input, first name, and also giving some space here, and also getting the data last name also. So, okay, now taking the output here. Okay, so like, alright, so you can see the output is now here. The submitted data now I'm getting in the PHP, the first name and the last name here. So you can see. So I'm just getting this method, uh, dollar underscore the post, the first name. This means the name of the input and the last name here, and the input. If I use the method get instead of the post, so I have to do using this one like get get. So let's see now. So like John. So You can see John Doe appeared, but you can see now the data is sent using the URL. So after URL, a new string is added here. The first name equal to John class and the last name equal to this Doe. So get method actually is not secured for some data, which is actually secure data like the password or some other data. So it is not recommended to use the get always. Post is recommended, but sometimes we'll use the get. For example, we want to search something in the website, like we want to search by location. So it can be like location California. This one, so we can sort this one because it is not actually secure data. It is just uh, getting some data value on based on the key here. So in that case, actually, we can use the get method. Otherwise, we should use the post method. Okay, so in this way, actually, we can get the data from the from variable here now. Well, now the last one, which is actually about some PHP functions, which are mostly useful. The first one actually is set. That means whether the variable is set or not. So you want to show here. For example, I'm just removing this part. Also this one. For example, there I'm just checking here if it's set a, that is this a variable a so set else or not set. So you can see here the variable a actually is not declared or any used anywhere in the program, so it is not actually set. So the output should be actually not set. So you can see it is not set because we haven't used any variable called the a anywhere in the program. So if I declare here a is something, so let's check now. So now it is set because it is already used or the program knows about the a, so it is set here. There's another function which is called the empty. That means whether the variable is empty or not. For example, we have an empty variable a. So if we set empty, not empty. So you can see it is now empty because there is no value here. It's just a blank string here. So if empty, that means if the value or variable is empty, so it shows empty, otherwise not empty. So if I give some value here, so it is now not empty because there are some values. So just checking for whether a variable is empty or not using this function. Well, there's another one is the trim. Trimming actually reducing the space from the leading or training. That means from a string, for example, there is some string. Now I want to show here for trim. Uh, so now you can see actually the spaces, the front and the leading and the spaces actually now removed. It's just showing the exact character, not the spaces here. So removing the leading or trailing spaces by using this trim here. And the next one is the stereo replace, that we're replacing a character with by other in a string. For example, there is a B C. Now I want to replace C by B. So what do I do here? I'll take another variable B, it's replace. So what will I replace? I'll replace C by B and putting the variable a. That means the first one is actually what to replace and by which to replace and the where to replace here. So I am replacing C with D in the array A, not array, so in the string A. So now B, that means would be there will be some other replaced value. So you can say now it is ABD, not the ABC because the C is replaced by the D here, and I'm keeping the new value, that means the replaced value here in the B, and showing this one. And the fifth one, this float, actually is important part. How actually we can make it? For example, we want to make a string into array for real life. So you can say we have a string like apple, mango, orange. So this is just a string here with the comma separated. But I want to make it array. That means like that we already used in the previous topic in the array. You can see from the zero in the apple, so one position mango and two position the orange. So we want to just convert this string into the array. So we can do it here. So using the export. So you can see I'm just using the export. The first one is actually how I want to separate the data, and the second one is the string. So I just want to separate data using the comma. So this is a comma. So now the value is separated by the comma. That means it will take the different here like a. Now I'll just print out. That means now it will be array. Now it is not an string here. So you can say now it is an array. So in the zero position is apple, in the one position is mango, in the two position is the orange, because now it is no more a string here. The string is now converted to the array in the B. So just exploding using the comma, that means it is now separated by the comma. And for each element now it is just as element here in the array for the 0, 1, 2 here. We can use everything like not array sign here. So we can also use this one. This is the same here. We want to separate it with a different value. This is the same output, but we separate it by another sign rather than the comma here. Well, and the include actually the opposite to the explode here. Just make an array into the string here. So now I have the array. Now I just want to convert the string here again. So C equal and float comma B. So let's see. So what I'm doing here, just converting this array. That means B is now array. Now including the include. That means just converting it into the string again here. So it will be just separated by comma. Though you can see there is a or sign here, but now the output will be the comma. So let's check here. So you can see it's again apple, comma mango, apple, and orange. So now it is converted to the again string, but not the this sign. Now it is the comma here. Well, so those are actually useful functions in the PHP. It actually mostly used in many cases in our program. I hope it will help you further in your project. Okay, I'm just near to close our session. If you have any questions, you can ask here. I'll just finish it shortly. And before finishing, I just want to show you something about the CodersTrust. What CodersTrust actually doing. CodersTrust basically a Denmark-based IT company which is providing IT trainer for the students started in the Bangladesh and working like in other countries, Malaysia, Bhutan, Kosovo, Kenya. and it has already many successful stories. That means the students who have completed the course in the CodersTrust and started earning in the marketplaces. CodersTrust not only focusing on the train up, also it is actually preparing the students to enable them earning in the marketplaces like global marketplace, the Upwork, freelancer.com here, and their quality today is also ensured that they can earn here. So Coder preparing them and just not only providing the train app, also guiding them how to build the project, how to negotiate with the clients, and how to manage project. So everything actually the students are getting support from the Coder Trust. And Coder Trust has a dedicated expert team which are actually 24/7 support for the students, so that if students faces any problem in their project, and they can get the support from the expert team here. And there are some courses like the front-end development and full stack development and Android apps development also. So if you have any questions for this regarding the payment issues or other like the class schedule, so you can just ask in the chat here. You can get the support instantly. Also, you can get the support from the official Facebook page of the Code Trust. I hope you'll check all the details here if you are interested. Also, you can try the start at 7-day free trial to understand how actually curators work internally. So this is our today's session, and I will finish the session. I hope you will enjoy this session already, and you will attend in the next session of the Coded Trust. Okay, till then, take care. Good night. Bye.